this monthly webinar. It's something we do on the first Tuesday of every month. And what we like to do is just kind of cover changes that we've made to the software, new features, bug fixes, and just generally kind of talk about TradersPost and building automated trading strategies. So one of the big things that was launched in October was the ability for the webhook signals to contain take profit and stop loss parameters. Previously, if you were to go into a trading view or a TradersPost strategy subscription, the only way you could configure a stop loss or a take profit was in the strategy subscription. But now you'll see these two new checkboxes: use signal take profit and use signal stop loss. This basically allows the strategy subscription to use a predefined take profit or stop loss that comes from the webhook signal. So if I go over to the webhook page and click send request, you'll see now we have these two new sections when you're sending a webhook, and you can specify a take profit and a stop loss, and you have the ability to specify a relative take profit and an absolute. And a relative just basically means I want to add a percentage or a fixed relative dollar amount to the entry price, and that's how your take profit limit price gets set. But then, of course, if you just want to calculate the limit price on your side, you can just pass that limit price through straight to TraderPost, and then we will use that with the entry order. We'll send along a take profit order with your entry order to say, when the price of the underlying reaches this price, go ahead and take your profit. And then the stop loss is the same thing, except you can control the type of stop loss, and it can be relative or absolute. So you can say a percentage based stop loss or a dollar amount stop loss, or you can specify an absolute very specific stop loss price and stop loss limit price. So that would be for scenarios where you wanted to calculate the take profit or stop loss on your side. So I'm going to pull up my code editor here really quick. So this is kind of what I'm going to show you what some of the signals will look like. Actually, it might be easier. Let me just go to the documentation because I have examples written out. So if you just go to docs.traderspost.io and navigate to the webhook page, the webhook section, you'll see now underneath the documentation for the webhook, you'll see these two new sections here: take profit and stop loss. And if you click the read more button, that'll take you to the section of the documentation that shows you what it looks like if you were to send these signals from TradingView or TrendSpider, or if you're building your strategy in Python or JavaScript or any low-level programming language. This is what the structure would look like if you were specifying those parameters from the webhook. So this would basically calculate a 10% take profit relative to the entry price. So if you had an entry price of $100, then 10% of $100 would be $10. And that means that your take profit price would get set to $110. And then similarly, if you just wanted to specify a dollar amount, you can specify an amount, which is a dollar amount instead of a percentage. So this would basically add $10 to the entry price for buy signals, and for bearish sell signals, if you were shorting, if your entry price was at $100, then the take profit would subtract the $10 from the 100, and you'd get a $90 take profit price. And then again, if you just want to calculate and do all the math on your side to determine what you want your take profit to be, a lot of strategies kind of have predetermined levels where you want to take your profit. So you could calculate that price on your side and just send that price to us in the limit price field. And the signal stop loss really works the same. You have a few more fields available. You can control the type. So if you want it to be a stop market or a stop limit, you could do that, or a trailing stop loss as well. So the percentage field, again, it's relative to the entry price. So if your entry price is $100 and you wanted to get out at a 5% stop loss, then that would subtract 5% from 100 and you'd get $100 stop price, or sorry, $95 stop price. And then if you wanted to calculate or just send a dollar amount, you could use the amount field just like you can on the take profit. Or if you wanted to do all the math on your side in your strategy, or you had a predetermined level where you wanted to get stopped out, you could specify an explicit stop price. Or if you wanted it to be a stop limit order instead of the default stop market, then you could specify a type with a value of stop underscore limit. And then you could specify two explicit prices, one for the stop price and one for the limit price. So that's pretty much it for that feature. That can be really useful. So let me pull over my trading view and show you some examples here. So I have these alerts already set up for these. This is in my test environment, but you can see here, I'm specifying a 5% take profit and a 1% stop loss. And then on the cues, let's see, I have, so this, on the cues, instead of doing a percentage, I'm doing a relative dollar amount. So I'm specifying a $10 take profit and a $5 stop market stop loss. And then I think I have it set up on, yep, on SPY, it's a percentage. So if you were to calculate these levels on your side, it would be possible for you to do something like this. Let me copy and paste this. Actually, let me go back to the documentation. So if you were using a trading view strategy, you could modify your JSON to send additional data for take profit. And you could specify a limit price. And say that limit price was calculated in your trading view strategy, you can make variables available from your Pine script to the JSON by plotting the value. And the values that get plotted are available in these variables with plot underscore a number. And they're basically incremented. So like if your first value plotted is your take profit limit price, then it's going to be available under plot underscore 0. But say it was the fourth or your second variable plotted, then it would be plot underscore 1. And then you can do the same thing for your stop loss. You could have stop price. So now you can basically calculate your take profit and stop loss values in your Pine script and then plot those values. And then you have access to those values from within your Pine script, or sorry, from within the alert message box within TradingView. And that's how you would basically get these calculated take profit and stop loss values into the JSON that gets sent to TradersPost. And remember, these fields will not be used unless in your strategy subscription, you have these checkboxes checked. Use signal take profit and use signal stop loss. If you don't check this, any take profit or stop loss in the signal will not get used. But if you do check it and say you had a 10% take profit configured here and a 5% stop loss, but then I also check these checkboxes, if the signal has a stop loss or a take profit in it, it'll take precedent over the take profit or stop loss that's configured in the strategy subscription. So I'm just going to pause there. Does that all make sense? If anyone has any questions, feel free to just throw it in the chat and make sure everyone is able to chat. Yep, everyone has the ability to chat. So any questions about that? Any thoughts? Any ideas on how that could be potentially improved? Definitely let us know. You can put that in the chat or reach out to us at support@traderspost.io. Happy to hear any feedback on that. Awesome. Yeah, appreciate that. So the next thing that I want to show that isn't available in production yet, we are working on adding, this is my local test environment. So this is, again, not available in production, but this is where I develop, where we develop and work on new features. And one of the cool things that we've been working on is more future symbols. This is something that's been heavily requested by pretty much everybody. As you know, we launched originally with just NQ, MNQ, ES, and MES, but we're basically launching now. We have over 104, we'll have 145 different futures tickers supported. So this page right here is also a new page that you'll see. If you click into a broker at the top right, you'll see a new tickers link. So because I'm connected and showing a futures TradeStation account, it's only showing futures tickers right here. So we can search for RTY. We'll see now that that's available. You can see all the contracts out into the future, which ones are available for RTY. We support the continuous symbol format that TradingView supports. So RTY1 exclamation point and RTY2 exclamation point. This one points to the current contract and this one points to the next contract. So in your signal, when you're setting up your alerts, you can basically specify the RT1 exclamation point and it'll automatically roll over to the next contract as soon as the current contract expires. But again, if you just wanted to specify the specific symbol or the specific ticker, you can always type it out explicitly. And of course, if you went and set up an alert in TradingView on the specific contract instead of the continuous symbol, then TradersPost understands either. You can send it the continuous or you can send it an explicit contract. So let's see, what other symbols? So if I go over to a stocks broker, so I'll go to this test alpaca account and I click tickers, now you'll see that we only have the stocks tickers listed here. And this is really useful for you just kind of browse and search and see which tickers TradersPost supports. It should be most every stocks and ETFs, equities that are available in the US stock market across multiple exchanges. But if there's a ticker that you're expecting to be available in either stocks or futures that's not available yet, just definitely let us know. Reach out to us at support@traderspost.io, and we'll look in to see why those futures tickers aren't available. But as far as I know, all of these tickers, these are all directly imported from TradeStation. So all the futures tickers that TradeStation supports, TradersPost will also support. So that is pretty much it for the new things that I wanted to show you all. Some other things that to kind of give you, 1 second, let me set up a test really quick. One thing to note about how these future symbols work, and really it works the same for stocks and options. But if I pull up this contract, the latest contract, and I click view quote, this is where you can kind of get a quote object And it also shows you this value called min move and point value. And this basically tells you what is the minimum price increment that this ticker moves in. So if I try to submit an order for MNQ, the current price is 11,315 and 50 cents. So what if I were to try to type in a price like that, you'll see what happens. So see how it says limit price 11,315.77 is not in a valid increment of 0.25. We validate the prices to make sure that the prices you're sending are in one of those supported price increments. So if I change this to 75, now it's going to let it go through. If I were to do 25, that's going to let it go through. But 27, that is not in a quarter increment, and the validation fails. So this is useful to know because when you have a automated trading strategy set up, so I'm just going to make sure I have this set up right. I have this strategy subscription for futures. It's subscribed to NQ. Yep, this looks good. So if I were to send a webhook, let's see, if I were to send a webhook for NQ, and let me see, let me pull up my trading view. The current price of NQ is 11,301 and 50. And I'm going to specify a price with a really long decimal. Like say you did the math on your side for your limit price and you forget to format it in one of the valid price increments, which you can do on the trading view side. But if you don't, TradersPost will take care of that for you. So another change that was made recently, or sorry, this change will be in the release when we add more futures tickers. Actually, no, I take that back. This is live in production. When you click confirm, it no longer sends the signal right away, and it allows you to kind of preview the signal before you actually click send. This is useful to kind of see what the JSON is for the different types of signals. So if I wanted to add a take profit of 5%, I can click confirm, and now I can see what that payload looks like. Or if I wanted to do a absolute take profit and we want to get out at 12,000, you can see it does take profit with a limit price. And then clicking cancel just goes back with the value saved in the form. And we're not going to do a take profit for this example. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this now. I'm going to click send, and let's see what happens. So the trade was completed. Now notice the price that I sent had this really long, precise decimal. But look at the limit price that was sent, 11,301.75. We basically, for buy orders, if the price is not in a valid increment, for buy orders, we will round it down to the nearest increment. And for sell orders, we'll round it up to the nearest increment. So that's really useful because if you don't want to do the math on your side, which can be, it's a little complicated, you can basically just send over the less specific price, and TradersPost will make sure that that price gets sent to the broker with the valid price increment so that the broker doesn't reject it. So I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show in this webinar. This was a little bit shorter than past webinars. We're hoping that we can get the new futures tickers out the door, maybe sometime mid to late November, maybe sooner. There's a lot to test. You can see if I go look at Bitcoin futures and click view quote, the Bitcoin futures move in $5 increments. So if I try to submit a limit order for 20,381, that's going to not allow me because it's not a valid increment. It can only be in $5 increments. Or if I did 20,380.25, it's still not a valid price increment. If I remove that decimal, now it'll let it through. And again, this is just a paper account. So now I have these two limit orders open for Bitcoin futures and for NQ. Let's cancel those orders. And let's just go submit a market order so you can see what it looks like. So now I have this open position for Bitcoin futures. Nothing has really changed in the trading UI. Everything's mostly the same. We're just basically opening up the ticker database so that we allow more tickers. And some of this work actually is paving the way for the next phase, which is adding crypto support. Because a lot of crypto tickers are less than a penny, and they have they move in a very different increments than stocks do, which stocks is pretty much always penny increments, 0.01. But for example, like Dogecoin or SHIB, those are less than a penny, or they previously were less than a penny, and they move in very long decimal. They have a lot of decimal points. So I think that's it for today's webinar. Does anyone else have any questions or anything else that you'd like me to cover or take a look at really quick? If not, I think we're good for today then. I appreciate it, everyone. Again, we do these on the first Tuesday of every month. If you want to join our community, go to TradersPost.io, click the community link in the header, and just click the Discord link. You can see all our social media channels available. Keep up to date with our updates there. And if you want to click the in the footer, the where is it? Contact us. This is how you can get a hold of us, call us, email us. Happy to help answer any questions, or if you need more help, feel free to email us and we can set up a one-on-one Zoom call where we screen share and answer any questions that you may have directly like that. So awesome. Well, I appreciate it, everyone, and looking forward to the next one in December. Thanks, everyone. See ya.